Christ music, yeah. Hey yo, chosen, ha, yeah. Thanks for this one, man. You know I had to make a remix, you know. Hey yo, Cyrus, what up?
Nothing, man. It's all about G.O.D. Tell him.
You know, people going after material things, but
I know.
I don't do this for the money, I don't do this for fame. I don't do this so that you can scream my name. Man, I'm doing this for Jesus. Yeah, it's for Jesus. Yeah, it's for Jesus. Let's go now. How many times should I tell you guys that no, it's not about my rhymes and my flows, or making crowds jump up and down all the time at my shows, singing my name out loud like no, man, I don't do this for me, man. I do this to glorify Christ to live inside of me, man. It's high time we see that this lifetime is temporary.
Good evening, this is Chess and Wine, and I am a DB lad. Today bringing you the chief arbiter of the South African National Schools Chess Championship, none other than Eazy Tshabadira from the host province, Gauteng province, and sometimes I thought from the Northwest province, or is it North something? But yeah, we'll find out today from him as we're speaking to the man himself, the biggest decision maker, chief arbiter, Mr. Eazy Tshabadira. Good evening, sir, and how are you?
Good evening. Thank you, sir. I'm fine. How are you?
I am super fine, and welcome to Chess and Wine, and we're glad to be speaking to you tonight regarding your duties, your role as the chief arbiter in the biggest schools event in the nation. Yeah, there was no question.
No.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
So yes, no man, you know what? I'm thinking before we just get into it, do you mind giving a short introduction of yourself? Obviously, right now we're introducing you as the chief arbiter at the National Schools Chess Championship, but maybe things might come out. Just a brief introduction, if you would, please.
Yeah, it's like I said when I spoke to you earlier. I don't know which is it, Tshabadira, you want to speak to. Do you want to talk to the arbiter, to the coach, to the manager, to the president, to the administrator? But yeah, I'm glad you specified you're talking to the arbiter for the SA schools that happened last week, I think.
Yeah, last week. I think it ended on Thursday or Friday, on the 6th, anyways. So yes, no, I was just hoping that it all comes out like that. Eazy is it's a coach, just like many of us. He's an arbiter, now the chief arbiter. He's an administrator involved in chess politics. I think you mentioned that you're a president of a region that side as well.
Yes, West Rand.
Oh, the president of
West
Rand Chess. All right, now back to the National Schools Chess Championship. How was it? Your overall impression of it? How was I don't know? How was the event from the perspective of the arbiter, perspective of a coach, strength wise? What did you see? How was the event for you?
I think the event was okay. I think a lot of things went right, and the mood, I've seen a lot of players enjoy the event, which is what I want.
Yeah.
What we like, we didn't have a lot of problems, we just witnessed kids enjoying the sport, and that's what we want also from the point of view of the arbiters. We want to see an event that is run smoothly and nicely.
Yes, definitely. But was it a very tense mood overall in the hall, or was it relaxed maybe for the first few days and it only became tense on the last day of the event, or was it an overall tense event or relaxed event for every player throughout?
No, I think it was a relaxed event. It's only when it gets to the last rounds, when the coaches and managers start and the parents start taking out the calculators and everybody's working out to say, we need so many points and whatever. That's when you see tense. When players come into the hall and they give given a mandate
Yes.
to say, hey, we need so many points and whatever.
And the smiles just fade.
Yeah, you see, you can see kids who are playing under pressure. You can see their facial expressions, you know, and in some of their games you would see that. But we didn't have a lot of those issues where we would say, I think maybe a lot of kids were under pressure or whatever. I have seen, even on the last round, you know, there were kids who played their games nice and quickly and they were out. Yeah.
But then now, besides that, I know it happens that if you, especially on the last rounds, on the last 2 rounds, especially for the most competitive provinces, you would find that the coaches, the managers, they become, I don't know if pedantic is the word, like where they trying to make sure that everything goes, like if any like I don't know, you kind of encounter a whole lot of complaints. You hear managers complaining about a slight sound, a noise coming from somewhere. They're just so tense and that they just come and annoy the arbiters. Is that something that has happened in this event as well, like in the last few rounds, or was everyone relaxed throughout? Like, I mean, in terms of the coaches and managers.
You know, one thing that we were having a small problem with was, you know, when it gets to those rounds and everybody's tense, especially the managers, the coaches, you see them walking in the hall, you know, as arbiters kept asking them to go out, you know, and you know, whenever parents and coaches enter the hall while the games are on, sooner or later you are bound to be solving problems.
Yes.
So, which is something that we really don't need. Let me just take this opportunity to address it while I have these 2 seconds.
That's good.
To say, me personally, if you've been to the events that I run, I'm friendly towards the coaches and the parents. I would usually be in disagreement with my fellow arbiters to say, no, we don't want the parents inside the hall, we don't want, you know, but I let them be, but I request them to, you know, not to disturb the event, to be quiet, just so that, you know, we know chess is not a spectator event, but where we can, just make them be part so that they can come in, take pictures, you know. But after some time, then we say, no, come in when the round starts, take pictures, walk a bit, and then quietly go out. Don't cause any scene.
Yes.
Which is what I like. But some
they make it
do what they
difficult.
wanna do.
They make it difficult for us to allow parents. Because I mean, I also feel the same way you feel. Like if there's parents, if there's coaches, teachers who have accompanied players, you want to allow them inside the hall so that they also kind of see they feel the experience of being in it. Because I mean, I think it's quite a nice experience when you in a hall full of kids, or hundreds or 50s, even if it's just that number, and they're all quiet and focusing on the boards, and you're just walking around there. I think it's a nice feeling when you're a parent, when you're a coach, you looking at your player or your kid focusing on their game and all that experience. But then now the problem with other parents or coaches when they come in, or even managers, they start looking for what's wrong. They start looking for something that they can complain about, right? Like if they see a player doing something that they don't understand, they want to be the ones that come to the arbiter to complain.
Yes, some even forget that they shouldn't actually be in the hall. You know, when somebody is raising concerns, and you like, but in any case, you are not supposed to be here. But we do want to allow them. Me personally, I take parents as the shareholders because they are the one who pay for these kids to come to this event. So I would want them to, I like to be friendly to them, and I would also want them to be friendly towards us.
Yeah.
So we all doing doing this for the kids. We don't want parents causing scenes in the middle of the tournament.
Yes, they must just be there and remember their role, not just be there and then try to overstep and just play roles which have other people who are meant to be playing them and speak about things. But yeah, we do need them, because again, if it wasn't for them, some of these kids would not be in these tournaments, in these events, because some of them need to be accompanied by their parents. Some of them don't have coaches and so forth. But yeah, I get that. So now, in terms of this national event that we just came from now, like as an arbiter, what was the most challenging thing that you faced that event as the chief arbiter per se? Like, what was, if any?
Yeah, I think I even addressed the players to say, if everybody can understand the level of that competition, to say when you are at the nationals, you're not playing district or region or whatever. So there's some expectation to say that's the higher level, that's the national event. So there are some things that you come to expect. Simple things like notation. You won't believe the incidents, how many incidents I got that involved notation. To say, when you're at this level, really, we can't be saying, no, this one doesn't know how to notate. There is absolutely no excuse for that. So there's some sort of expectations. But I think taking it back, also the provinces, there's something to work on to say, when we get to that level, let's make sure that the players understand that they must not behave like we are at a lower level.
But it's
You better make your investment grow. Start living for God and not for the cash and the dough. Cause the fortune and fame will fade away. And any day to day, your life can get taken away. It's not yours.